In his book, The Clash of Civilizations and the Remaking of World Order, published in 1996 and a bestseller of New York Times that year, Samuel Huntington illustrated that three major civilizations dominated the world, namely the Judeo Christian civilization in the West, the Confucian Cynic civilization in East Asia, and the Islamic civilization in the Middle East. Besides differences in political regimes, religion, and culture, the three major civilizations differed in their cookeries and dining customs. In the 1970s and the 1980s, before the publication of the book, some historians pointed out that the world was roughly divided into three food cultural spheres based on their ways of eating. Number one, South Asia, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East and Africa, where the tradition was to use hands for eating. Number two, Old Europe and the New World, where the tradition was to use knives, forks, and spoons. And then there's number three, China, Japan, South Korea, and Vietnam, which formed the chopsticks cultural sphere. It took thousands of years for chopsticks to finally become the commonly used tableware in China. Neolithic period, New Stone Age. At Long Chodruang village in the Jiangsu province, the Neolithic cultural site dated back to more than 7,000 years ago. Chopsticks made of animal bones were found, which are believed to be the prototype of modern chopsticks. Shang Dynasty. In Hubei, located in the middle reach of the Yangtze River, a dig in the 1980s yielded two bone chopsticks which belonged to the Shang period. A pair of ivory chopsticks, which dated back to the Zhou period, were also uncovered in the same site. In the classical literature Han Feizi, King Zhou of the Shang dynasty used ivory chopsticks. When Jesus saw these chopsticks, he knew that disaster would strike the Shang dynasty. As a result, ivory chopsticks were regarded as a symbol of extravagance and a metaphor for the collapse of a dynasty. Late Zhou period. In ancient China, between the 6th and 3rd BC, the usage of chopsticks and spoons became habitual among the Chinese. During that period of time, chopsticks were usually made of bamboo and wood. One intriguing issue in the classic of rites, Li Ji, is about when and how to use chopsticks. The book says, do not use chopsticks in eating millet, a category of grain. One should not have to wash his hands when eating with others from the same dish of millet, and use chopsticks for vegetables in soup only. During that period of time, the Chinese used both fingers and utensils to consume meals, and chopsticks functioned only as auxiliary tableware. Qin, Han, Wei, Jin dynasties, and Southern and Northern dynasties. These interactions between the Han Empire and its surrounding areas brought wheat-based food to the Chinese, such as noodles and flatcakes. During these dynasties, the cultural and economic center gradually moved southwards as the elites were forced to cross the Yangtze River, and rice began to play a much more prominent role on the Chinese dinner table. Sui and Tang dynasties. By the Sui and Tang dynasties, chopsticks became widely used in the Chinese civilization. Ju, the pronunciation of chopsticks in early China, appeared in different materials, including gold, silver, jade, and ivory. Exchanges and influences. The influence and radiation of Chinese civilization spread the chopstick culture to its neighbors. Vietnam and Japan absorbed it most thoroughly, and chopsticks became a necessity on their dinner tables. Based on geographical features and cultural environment, they have developed their own characteristics as far as chopsticks are concerned. bamboo chopsticks in Vietnam, and wooden chopsticks in Japan. In addition, chopsticks influenced the Khitan, Mongolian, and other nomadic peoples of the north.